was a very dangerous man. He allegedly shot 3 people, killing 2 of them. He even opened fire on officers. Over the span of about 4 chaotic hours, this all unfolded, starting with multiple shootings, a police chase, and then a standoff with SWAT officers all the way over here in Anaheim. All of this began near the campus of the University of Southern California and ended here on the 91 freeway in Anaheim at Raymond Avenue. There you can see the SWAT team still right there. The suspect got into a shootout with these officers, who then returned fire with tear gas weapons and possibly bullets. The suspect was killed. SWAT pulled him out of his vehicle, and now an investigation is ongoing. We're going to show you right now a clip of the chase while this driver was still fleeing. Have a look. See the suspect there running from officers in a white SUV. We're not sure if this is his SUV or whether or not he may have carjacked it. A convoy of police vehicles trailing very close behind him. All of it began around 12:55 this morning near USC. The LAPD tells us the suspect shot at least 3 people across 3 separate locations. Why he did it? That's still under investigation. Police quickly responded and confronted the suspect. They got him on the 10 freeway. That is where the LAPD says the suspect pulled out his gun again, and this time shot at officers. We do not believe any officers were hurt in this. That's when the suspect took off in his white SUV and the chase began. Moving over to our next video, police pursuit units followed closely behind the suspect from South LA all the way over here to Anaheim. After a distance of around 30 miles, officers used spike strips to take out the tires on his vehicle. The man came to a stop here on the westbound State Route 91 in Anaheim. Police cruisers blocked him in, and that is where the standoff began. Back out here live at the scene. Again, things ended after SWAT officers fired non-lethal tear gas into the suspect's vehicle. The suspect responded by shooting at him. SWAT fired back again with more tear gas and maybe bullets, and now the suspect is dead. An investigation is starting into what happened out here, exactly how it all unfolded. The main thing that you guys need to know, anyone watching this morning, stay away from the 91 freeway in Anaheim near Raymond Avenue and Harvard Boulevard, because this is likely going to be shut down for several more hours as this whole deadly string of events is investigated. For now, live in Anaheim with Steve Couge, KTLA 5. Chris Megan, back to you.
All right, Steve, thank you. This morning we are learning more about one of the victims in that deadly shooting spree.
Carlos Herrera is live at University Park with the devastating details. Carlos, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. This here is one of the 3 crime scenes that are connected to that shooting spree. This is the second one. We've seen this scene grow all morning. You'll see the yellow tape here. Several LAPD law enforcement vehicles as well. Detectives have been focusing their investigation at this drive-through Starbucks. There you'll see 2 cars that are uncovered. They were here at the time of the shooting. And then over to the left, you'll see that white tent that is actually covering a Ford Mustang. That's where the victim body is still here this morning. LAPD telling us this morning that the suspect shot the victim several times here. Let's get you over to some video of the scene earlier this morning. It happened around 1:20 this morning. You can see the Mustang that was shot at several times. Paramedics covering the body of the victim. Now, earlier this morning, I spoke with the victim's family who were here earlier today. They didn't want to be on camera. They did tell me, however, that the victim was 25-year-old Hispanic Alex Carvajal Tinoco, who lives nearby, not too far from this Starbucks. They say he was with his wife waiting to get a drink here. The suspect crashed into his car, and there was some type of confrontation between both of them. The suspect got out of his car and then simply started shooting inside the car, hitting and striking the victim several times. The victim died there just moments later, and the suspect simply drove away. The wife here is okay. Of course, she is devastated. They had just married about 4 months ago, so you can imagine just how devastating this is for them. Now, before shooting and killing a man here on 28th and Figueroa, around 1 a.m., police say the suspect was also shooting at a 43-year-old man on Figueroa and Exposition. LAPD says the suspect drove up to the victim's car and fired several shots into the vehicle, striking him with minor injuries. The victim appears to have been grazed by a bullet in the face and back, and his car has several bullet holes, including the passenger window and door. The victim is in stable condition. Back out here live, LAPD wants you to know to avoid this area as much as possible. Figueroa is blocked off between 27th and 29th. For now, reporting live near University Park, I'm Carlos Herrera, KTLA 5 News.
Carlos, thank you. This is a live picture from the third shooting scene connected to the overnight shooting spree. Now, the third shooting took place about 1:25 this morning at the intersection of 7th and Figueroa Streets. That's where the suspect drove up to a parked Uber driver and opened fire, killing the 30-year-old victim. Our Megan Tellis is live on scene. We're going to have the latest from there coming up in a live report at 6:30.
Traffic brought to you by Ram Trucks.
Obviously, we are talking about some major streets are going to be impacted, but really the biggest story in terms of the traffic is the freeway, the 91 freeway in both directions through Anaheim and Fullerton. That's where we find Mark Hono in Sky 5 HD. Mark.
Yeah, we continue to watch the investigative process here in Anaheim along the westbound side of the 91 freeway, right on top of Raymond Avenue, where this came to its conclusion just a little over 30 minutes ago, with the suspect now deceased just outside the driver door of that white SUV here. Now, that is kind of what we're looking at this point here. Now, unfortunately for traffic, the 91 freeway east and westbound is still going to be shut down for the duration of this investigation here. In particular, that westbound 91, those are the cars coming at us here. They are still being led off right there at Raymond Avenue here, with the backup beginning right at about the 55 freeway. So if you're coming out of Anaheim from the 55 freeway westbound on the 91, that is where it's going to slow, right at the 55 freeway, passing the 57, and everyone being led off the freeway right there at Raymond. Now, if you're coming away from the 5 freeway eastbound on the 91 freeway, now eastbound 91 freeway, that is also going to be shut down, with everyone being led off right there at Harbor Boulevard here. So between Harbor Boulevard and Raymond Avenue, this 91 freeway entirely shut down for the investigation that is still ongoing. Ginger?
Those are some incredible delays that you're talking about. And when you're talking about west, of course, with the delays starting at the 55, excuse me, then 55 freeway south, 22 west, 605 north, back over to the 5 freeway. Again, a situation where it depends on where you need to go. Now, let's take you back over to this electrical vault explosion that happened earlier this morning, where there were 4 injuries reported.